right, it just turned 11:30 a.m. So I'm going to call to order Tuesday, September 19, our technology regular meeting. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Berlin.
Here.
Cahill. Here. Carrier. Here. Eckhoff.
Here.
Galassi. Here. Guston. Here. Henry. Here. Kazmarek.
Here.
Mendrick. Rutledge. White.
Here.
You.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, so for Chairwoman's remarks, I just want to make one quick announcement that starting in the new fiscal year, we will be moving to an 11 o'clock a.m. time. Everybody's excited. Woo! And it's because I talked with Mary Keating, and because CDC and the home meetings have been canceled quite a bit, actually, and we have this break between the 10:30 meeting and the 11:30, so we're going to move it. And we're also going to be moving to 3500B in the future, just because we have so many people. So thank you guys. Very, very pleased to see all of you here at today's meeting. We have no public comment, I've been advised, and so let's move on to the approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve minutes from September 5, 2023? Item 2368. I've got a motion and a second. Hello, come on in. Any changes or improvements, deletions to the minutes? Saying none. Can I get everyone to say aye if you approve?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. So there is a budget transfer, item 233069. Can I get a motion for item 233069 budget adjustment total of $120,008 from new program request personnel to regular salaries to cover the cost of a double filled position. So a current systems administrator who is leaving may train a new incoming systems administrator.
So moved.
I've got a motion.
So moved.
I have a second, since member Carrier and member Henry did a second. Thank you. Do you guys have any discussion or questions about this item?
Yes, can you just explain a little bit?
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, we're double booked here. How did this happen?
We are double booked. As you all know, that in IT, a lot of the skill sets are very specialized, right? Very different. For police records management, even more so. So this role is within police records management. It's a database administrator and an application administrator. He's leaving. He's been here for 10 years. He has tons of knowledge in his head, but he is flexible in terms of when he leaves. So he's given us an opportunity to help transition his knowledge over to a new resource. So we have to take advantage of it because police records management is only in government, which is a small subset of IT. Finding someone who has similar knowledge is going to be almost impossible. And even if we bring somebody in, they have to learn our system, and it's going to take them months to get up to speed. So I've been here for 2 years. I'm still learning police records management myself.
Can I maybe add a little bit more?
Yeah.
Because this is common among all the departments. Key positions, we look at every single opening that comes. If somebody declares, I'm retiring, we'll look at their position. And most positions we have at the county, we lag hire, which works great. But there are certain key positions we have that department heads indicate and say we need crossover. And then some of them might be, okay, we need 1 month crossover, 2 month crossover. Now the downside is that you are paying two people for the same job, but it makes it so it's a seamless transition from one to the other, especially somebody who's been here, for 30 years or something, they know it. And we try to get, a little bit of crossover. And so we look at each and every one of them very closely, whether it's needed for the crossover.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Anthony. Yes.
My question is this between now and November 30th?
It is, but it's going to take us a while to post and
But
hire.
are you going to spend this money between now and then the November?
Yes.
All of it?
Oh, no. So the finance department requires us to have a fully loaded position. So that 120,000, we won't use the full amount of it, but we have to have it to open the actual position.
And then it'll be part of next year's budget.
Yeah.
Let me add something. So RMS, Records Management System, we requested a new headcount last year. We got it this year. That new program request, that's the amount for that new headcount. Because we had some positions that were open, we never needed to transfer that money to cover any of the salary. Well, now we need to transfer that money. So it's not only for that new position, it's for the double position. It's also for the new position that we never transferred the money over.
So let me clarify my question. I'm not getting to the substance of whether you should have the overlapping purpose. How much of this money would be charged to the 23 budget? How much would be charged to 24 budget.
It's gonna be 24, 23, I
So
mean.
when will the new
No,
person,
no.
when will the new person start?
We're hoping within the next month we can hire and bring
Okay.
that person.
Okay, because because it's just how much this goes on the FY 2023 budget, and your 24 budget hasn't been approved yet, so you put it in the 24 budget, and then.
Yeah, this is mainly 23 that we're asking.
Okay.
So our goal is to hire that person as soon as possible,
Okay.
get them up to speed within 30 days, and that should be by the end of this fiscal year.
And this is your anticipated annual salary, 120?
That's a fully loaded salary. So the
Everything.
salary is much
Salary
less.
benefits, the whole,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah,
For
salary is
1
much
year,
less
for a full year.
for the 4 year.
Okay.
Oh, so wait 1 second. Did you have a question?
I just was gonna ask, how long do you anticipate the overlap to be?
30 to 60 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and yes.
And so the 30, 60 day, this 120 isn't for the 30, 60
No,
day
no, it's for the
employee to
full
do the
position for a
training.
full
It's
year.
for a complete year-to-year
Correct.
employee that's coming in new. Or is it somebody transitioning from another department or another position?
So it's two things, as Wendy said, but mainly it's to cover a full position, right? But we're only going to use the amount for this, in this year's budget that we need for this year's budget. So it won't be an overlap for a full 12 months. It'll be overlap for 30 to 60 days.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Till the next budget.
Correct.
Okay. But the
And that
120,
position is already loaded in, if approved in November, that full position is loaded in 2024, which is separate from this.
okay. And then the person that's taking this position is not from outside of the county?
Oh, yeah, it will be from outside.
It
of the
will
county.
be, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
More
still
than,
gotta be,
take step back.
potentially.
It depends, yeah.
Yeah.
So we may have an internal, candidate, so.
so
may
it
be
still has to
internal,
be
so
posted and all that
Still has to
stuff.
be posted for sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you.
Any other questions about this item? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great, thank you for that. So that motion passes. Moving on to 7A. Can I get a motion for TEP 006523, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to PSR Incorporated for high availability monitoring, support maintenance for IBM business class server and enterprise storage for IT. This contract covers the period of September 15, 2023 through September 14, 2024 for a total amount of $35,911. I did have a motion. Can I get a second? Thank you. Do you guys have any discussion about this one?
Yeah, explain.
Yes.
Yeah, give you some background on this one. So this is related to our mainframe, which we plan to sunset and retire within originally we had planned to retire within a 2-year period. We wanted to give any existing user who has data or applications on the mainframe time to gradually get off of it. We can't do that anymore. So the actual system, support for the system expires fully in March of next year. We were originally told by the vendor that they would no longer support that system. So we had to move to a different system. So we did some research and the only option was for us to move to the cloud. Doesn't make sense to purchase a probably multi-million-dollar mainframe for a 2-year period. Didn't make any sense. So we decided to go with a hosting solution. That hosting solution was cost prohibitive. So we waited for them to submit their proposal. We reviewed it. Initially, I thought maybe we could do it, and it just didn't make any sense, right? So we're going to push to get off the mainframe within the next year. And then we were able to convince the support vendor to extend our support for another year. They're saying that's it, so we have to get off within a year. The total cost would have been double what we pay now for moving to the cloud. So it would have been close to $500,000. We pay about $250,000 a year for support right now. It would have doubled. And for an application that's going bye-bye, it doesn't make sense for us to spend that kind of money for it. So last minute, and it's a few days late, I decided we can't do it. We pushed the vendor to give us some extended support. So that's why we're submitting it now. Yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna go to the cloud, right?
Not for the mainframe. So mainframe goes, yeah. So let me take a step back. Not for the mainframe completely goes away, but the applications that are on the mainframe, some of them will go to the cloud. For instance, our property tax application is moving to the cloud or to the cloud.
Some of them could be web-based, right?
So there are multiple applications on the mainframe. Most of them probably will move to the cloud. We only have a handful that are still left, but some will not. Some will be hosted here on site.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great, that passes. Thanks, guys. And then moving on to item 7B, can I get a motion for 23-3070? Ad Lib Venture Solutions LLC to cancel the contract due to the vendor being unable to fulfill contract obligations. I have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. I think that was member Cahill. Any questions about this one? Just so you know, this vendor turned out to be really suspicious, or actually, as my 9-year-old son calls it, sussy. They were sussy. And I think we were talking about barring this vendor from
So
future, right?
this particular vendor was pushing for us to pay upfront 100%.
Yeah, right.
So, they wouldn't push back on it. So they thought they were doing us a favor by coming back saying, okay, you guys pay 75% now and then 25% later. This happens sometimes when you go out to bid and you select vendors that you don't know, they haven't been vetted and they're not trusted. So they came in with a great price, great solution, but sounds like it was a bait and switch, and they, who knows, they may have had somebody write their proposal, but they're not a solid organization. So we are pulling out before any other damage is done. So.
Very good.
Yes.
And what service were they proposed to offer?
Remember the fee
Memory.
schedule?
Okay, thanks.
So we're gonna have to put out a bid, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to, or no, we're gonna take a look. So either we'll put out a bid or we'll look at existing contracts. We can do that as well. Sometimes we try to do it. We want to be fair. We want to put things out so that other vendors can respond to it. This particular case, it's memory. We can probably find it off an existing GSA contract and purchase it. We've lost time because of this, so we'll more than likely do that. But we're going to look at all of our options now.
Right.
But we don't want to deal with a fraudulent
Was there any
organization.
penalty that you had to pay to get out of the contract?
No,
Okay, good.
no, we were able to just cancel the contract.
Great question.
Yeah, and Chair, you made a great recommendation, which is if they're truly being fraudulent, we should probably bar them from working with us, right?
All right, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. And then we move on to informational items. Could I please get a motion to receive and place on file item
So moved.
23-3071, recommendation for the approval of contract purchase order issued to Pet Health Services, Inc. For annual software licensing and maintenance for Pet Point Shelter Data Management System. That's for animal services, right? So I do have a motion. I believe I also received a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That passes. Okay, so let's move on to old business. Is there any old business that somebody wants to bring up? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Any new business? Okay. Can I get a motion to
So
adjourn?
moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks, guys.
I know.
Fish.